Hey guys, Morgan the Rebellious Reviewer. We talk about all things music. And today we're going to be playing my monthly game. This is Land of February. So you might be thinking, if you haven't seen my last video, why are you picking February's albums? January isn't even over yet. Well, you're right, but I do this bi-monthly because it takes me a while for an album to sink in and for me to decide what its rating should be. So, we're doing Land of February. For those of you who haven't seen this, here's how this is gonna work. There are 3 different colors on this board, and if I land on these pinks, and I use these dice to move, and this bunny as my moving piece. And if I land on 2 of these light pink squares in a row, I get to roll again and move forward even further. If I land on these red squares, I get to roll again and either move forward or backwards if I get an even number or an odd number, respectively. And if I land on one of these white squares twice in a row, I have to roll again and move backwards, and I don't want that. And of course there's this start over square, which sends me back to the beginning, which I do not want. So, with that out of the way, check out my Land of January below, and let's get started on this game. So I'm going to start by putting it... Well, first I'm going to have to bring out the snipping tool because, well, as you can see, I'm using 2 6-sided dice here. And you can't roll a 1 with 2 6-sided dice, and there is a number 1 prompt. So I'd like to be able to get that, possibly. So, let's start by spinning this wheel right here. Okay, so our first spin is an 8, so let's put this board down on the floor and move 8 spaces. Okay, let's move 8 places. Hippie music. Okay, time for some psychedelia. Okay, so for our first roll we got hippie music, and for this, I'm gonna pick Surrealistic Pillow by Jefferson Airplane. This is a psychedelic rock album, and it contains the hits White Rabbit and Somebody to Love. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the prompts are all February themed. The first part is about Valentine's Day and love and all that stuff. The second part is about black people stuff because Black History Month. The third part is about political stuff because of President's Day. And the fourth part is about Aquarius and Uranus, meaning a bunch of quirky stuff. And then there's some miscellaneous prompts for the 5th part. Should have told you that earlier, but, well, at least I've remembered now. But anyway, for our first prompt, we've got hippie music, because that's love-related, and I'm going with, as I said before, Surrealistic Pillow by Jefferson Airplane. Roll number 2. Okay, now for our first actual roll. Let's do this. 4. Not a very big number, but it'll do. romantic concept album. So this can just be any concept album that has a relationship in it. So that might actually be somewhat hard to find, come to think of it. Okay, that was harder to find than I thought. But for my romantic concept album, I'm gonna pick Igor by Tyler, the Creator. This album, I've never listened to much Tyler, the Creator outside of the song She, and I know that's early in his career, so this is probably gonna be very different, but yeah, this is a concept album about a gay love triangle, so yeah, that counts. So, rule number 3. Well, that knocked over the bunny, but I get to move 5 spaces. I have to listen to a blues album. Okay, I know exactly what I'm going to listen to for this. Okay, so for my blues album, I'm gonna listen to Completely Well by B.B. King. This is an electric blues album, which sounds more up my alley because I'm a rock fan. So, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this. Hopefully I enjoy it, because blues is kinda out of my comfort zone. Okay, rule number 4. Let's try for some big numbers here. We've been getting small ones. Ooh, a 9. So we landed on political word in the album/song title, but since we landed on a red space twice, I have to roll again and either move backwards or forwards, depending on if I roll an odd or an even. Let's pray for an even. 8. I can move forward. Authoritarian album. Well, okay, I can do that. Hey guys, Editing Morgan here. I realized after I did that roll that I actually should have landed on random 12 access generator, and that had I gone the correct number of spaces, I would have been able to cross the Aqua Bridge here. So, we're gonna forget everything that happened later in this game and start over with this part. So, random 12-axis generator refers to the 12-axis political test that places you on the political spectrum based on 12 axes. So, I'm gonna go to the 12 Axes website here, and then I'm going to screen record after I bring up a random number generator. Let's use the wheel again. Okay, so I rolled a 4, and as you can see here, the fourth value that is listed on this site is autocratic. So basically a dictatorship. I have to find an album about dictatorship, and it looks like I may be using the album that I was planning on picking for authoritarian album after all. Because for this I'm going with Revolutionary Volume 1 by Immortal Technique, because Immortal Technique is a communist, and Marxists, even if they aren't in favor of what Stalin did, they all pretty much support a dictatorship of the proletariat, or at least most of them do. So, we're gonna be picking Revolutionary Volume 1 by Immortal Technique. After I rolled the random 12-axis generator, I got a 6, and I went up the Aqua Bridge and got a sophomore album, since I rolled a 6. And for a sophomore album, I'm gonna be listening to Pretty Odd by Panic at the Disco. This album is the second album from Panic at the Disco, hence sophomore, and I'm planning a video at some point where I do a album by album Fall Out Boy versus Panic at the Disco, and I need to listen to more Panic at the Disco, so yeah, Pretty Odd is what I'm picking for this. And then I rolled 2 11s in a row after I rolled that 6, and by going 11 spaces, I landed on Mood Listen, meaning I can just pick whatever I want throughout the month. So, instead of the 9 albums I had in the original game, I now only have 6, including Surrealistic Pillow by Jefferson Airplane for hippie music, Igor by Tyler the Creator for a romantic concept album, Completely Well by B.B. King for a blues album, Revolutionary Volume 1 by Immortal Technique for a random 12-axis generator, Pretty Odd by Panic at the Disco for a sophomore album, and a Mood Listen. Yeah, sorry I counted wrong, and sorry this video is so weirdly structured, but there, we did it. I only have 6 albums, and not the 9 that I ended up with when I counted wrong. So, now that that's over, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Morgan, the Rebellious Reviewer, and I'm out.